Yeah.
We're alive.
Yeah. France, it's so good to see you all. It's been a while. I hope you all are doing okay. We've missed you. I'm so glad to be back. Welcome back to Ravenous Tales. Tonight we are doing episode 4 of the Wretched Harvest. I'm freaking excited because last session there was drama, and I cannot wait to see how that carries over. It's going to be great. I think we're all feeling a little better. I think so. Minus the fact that my children have brought home the plague in September and it hasn't left. If you know, you know. But let's get into it. Hi, I'm Raven. I am the owner here at Ravenous Tales. I do a lot of things, but not lately because I'm old and tired. Pronouns are they, she. I am playing Dr. Azjah Nefek, a tiefling plague doctor cleric. It's a homebrew class made for me by the Wonderful Tales Archive, so go check him out. And I'm just a brooding baddie. I mean, that's really it. Hi. I'm sorry.
Yeah, my turn. Hey, I am J. Foster, otherwise known as Swole Initiative on the internets. I am your invading dungeon master once more. My pronouns are he, him. I will be playing the rest of the entire universe ever. And yeah, you can catch me streaming on Swole Initiative Network. And at PAX U, we'll be running another Himbo game that got confirmed while I was away. So
I cannot wait.
Introducing some shimbos to the mix as well, so that should be fun. But yeah, so if you're going to PAX U, come and check us out. Danny will be there, so that's a good reason to come.
I'll be there.
But yeah, that's me.
That's you. And that's me. Hey, y'all, my name is Danny. You can find me all over the internet, Brutal Dan, BR00TALDAN. My pronouns are he, him. I do want to plug one thing. And this upcoming Monday the 13th, so the next Monday that's coming up, I will be streaming on Just the Humans channel to raise money for the Palestine Children's Relief Fund. It'll be a great fun old time because we're all playing flumps. So if you have time, if you want to come see some chaos and raise some money for a good cause, feel free to stop by. I'm also the author of Digital Thickness, which is a newsletter where you can learn more about social media, community management, and all that good stuff, and a little bit about my life too. And tonight I will be playing Trix, your favorite non-binary drow warlock who has a weird obsession with blood and a Vladipus platypus. That's it. Diction, your turn.
Yes, hi, I'm Diction. You can find me at Diction on most things, mostly here on Twitch. I'm he, him. I don't really have anything to plug, really. Nothing super important going on with my life. And I play Chezz, your friendly neighborhood street urchin, and he's a half-elf fighter with a cute little rat named Muffin.
It's me. I love Chezz. I love Muffin. What's up? My name is Austin. Pronouns are he, they, she. You can find me over at Sailor Skull Sense at Sailor SCT Austin. I'm an award-winning game writer, designer, performer, and a friend. Seamless plug. I have a podcast. It just relaunched. It's been out for years and years and years. We just relaunched with the Maximum Fun Network. So you can find my podcast, Secret Histories and Nerd Mysteries, at Secret Histories and Nerd Mysteries. On the MaximumFun.org or wherever you get your podcasts. You can follow the podcast itself on socials at Nerd Mysteries. On all socials that exist. If you find us on anything besides TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Blue Sky, then it's not us, and tell me, I will cut them down swiftly with all of my wrath and rage. I'll be playing Deimos. Deimos' pronouns are she, they. Deimos is barbarian monk, technically a Kalishtar mechanically, and she's doing a-okay. Joy?
Hello, I'm Joy, sensitive Joy around the internet. My pronouns are she. Any pronouns also work. Or I say she, her. Any pronouns also work. However, that needs to be said. She, any works. Shameless plug. I don't really have anything personal to really plug here, but I would like to plug that ever since this past week, I am one of the newest subscribers to Digital Thickness. And I got the first email in my inbox this week, and it is so good. Even if you don't know Danny, the insights about being a creator on the web are just so valuable. I would like to plug my friend very loudly right now. Great job. I actually hate newsletters and just as a principle, loved yours though. Yours was so good. Everyone needs to know that.
Thank you.
And tonight I am playing Olga Mars. Her pronouns, she, her. She is a Dampier rogue. She has been alive for hundreds of years. She has outlived all of these cute little bitches, and she will let them know it. But yeah, she's feisty and she's here to play. So thanks for watching.
And before we get into it, I just want to give a quick shout out to our amazing artists. If you are interested in any of the character design and the animation that you see on the overlay, please check out Unseen Nonsense. He is a fantastic, fantastic artist, has been on top of literally everything and continues to work with us. Actually, he is the art director. Let's be fucking honest. He's the one who's handling all of it. And you need to hire him, period, point blank, end of story. Also, thank you so much to Artificer's Work for supplying the overlay. And guess what? Big shout out to our producer, Damien, aka That's How We Roll, for making all this tech stuff work. You, DMV fucking P. I love you. That's all. Okay, I'm done.
Is it me again?
It's you again.
Dope. All right. So, let's just jump in, guys. So, last time on the Wretched Harvest, I will do my best to summarize all of the stuff that happened, but in essence, you guys had met up and then headed to the train station. Chezz was leading the way against some people's wishes towards the train station to meet with his friend Faustus, the sort of golden-colored tiefling who ran baggage for the train on the personal side of the platform. But before you met him, you discovered in a ticket kiosk that there were 3 portraits behind a poor little old lady that ran the booth, and you guys decided to terrify her by having a demonic Vladipus flying and knocking on the glass in front of her. She left and left you able to take the 3 portraits. One of them being of a blue tiefling, Sylvester, that you all knew in various shades. The other 2 being Mr. D. Zabov, and another one, Dr. Cornelius Anders. After meeting and talking with Faustus, he aided you in kind of kicking away the evidence and allowing you to take away the portrait without asking any questions whatsoever. And he kind of informed you through asking about your run-in with what happened with Sylvester, about the mysterious deaths that had been happening, several across Kettlebrek, 2 of which he knew details of. One person that was left without a skeleton, basically just a skin, blood, and intestine bag. Or what did he say? A bagpipe. Without the pipe. The other one was a person. He was found in an alley near to the Sitting Duck. The other one was found basically sliced from the midsection down, and his total front half was removed from his body. And those are the two that they knew about. After that, leaving the area, Azjah and Deimos fell into an argument about power dynamics and who is following whom. And with that, took off towards the docks, while Olga and Deimos decided to go and seek out Dr. Anders to ask him some questions. Seeing that she was going by herself, Olga used some gentle persuasion to get Chezz and Trix to accompany her against her will, a few steps behind. But where to start? Someone roll me a d20.
Somewhat? Anyone?
Anyone. Just tell me who it is.
Rolled it.
I'm
It's an
rolling a
18.
D20. Oh, never mind.
Oops, sorry. We all just rolled at the
We all
same time.
yeah. You can't just open it up like that to all of us.
We all just did it.
Chaos energy is strong.
We're like,
in
wait,
this.
we get to roll? We get to roll?
What was the total? Well, no, just the roll.
We add them all together.
we got it all together.
Who?
8.
Pick one.
We
'Cause
all
I got
rolled a
18.
D20. I got
I got
17.
18. Fantastic. So we are picking up, following Azjah as she heads to the docks.
So before that happens, before they're out of view from me, I do want to take a moment as we are both walking in separate directions. We are easily probably like a good several, maybe like 100 yards from each other. I turn and see the three of them walking away, and I would like to cast Psychic Whispers. And I'm going to specifically try to cast it on Trix and Azjah.
So you
If-
can link up to two people.
Yes, yeah, I can do two people, and then all I have to do is roll. Sorry, D&D Beyond's being a butt. So I just roll a d6, and for whatever number of hours I roll, those two creatures can speak telepathically with me, and I can speak telepathically with them.
Cool. Let
and
me ask you this.
Yeah.
Because this could be important leading forward.
Mm-hmm.
Is this are we in a three-way right now?
Oh my
Or
god, like the 90s?
Or do you select who you speak to?
It's more selective speaking.
Got it.
So like I can speak telepathically with them, but they cannot speak telepathically to each other.
You have to
Got
like
it.
put people on hold.
All right.
Yeah.
Hold
Fine,
on,
let me
hold
put my little Nokia
Hold on,
away.
another line.
Yeah.
Let me roll a d6 really quickly.
Excellent.
Okay, so 4. So for 4 hours, we can speak telepathically, but they are not aware yet. So as they are walking away, I look at them and make the connection. And I kind of like let out this little like side smile. And I turn and start walking to catch up with Deimos. And I say to Azjah first, "Hello, my dear, sweet friend. I haven't left you yet. You may speak with me at any point should you need me."
There is silence as it's pretty evident that there is a massive scowl that just falls upon the fullness of her lips as she peers over her shoulder and glances daggers. Oh, good. And she continues walking.
And as Olga lifts her head after nodding at Azjah, she says telepathically to Trix, "Now, my happy little darling, you will let me know if anything goes awry, won't you?"
Yeah, Olga, I will. Staring at Chezz in the eyes, for sure.
What's up?
Olga, did you not hear that? Oh, it looks
Or
around.
what?
Doesn't. Olga was just. Oh, nothing. Let's. Oh, and these vials are from a forest that it just kind of keeps going with like. Just banter.
Roll a performance check, and Chezz roll an insight.
Okay.
Wait, while those two are rolling, I believe Jay and Diction are both not in the Google Meets captions.
Ooh.
I am waiting.
What?
I can't join this call.
Oh, what?
No one responded.
Oh, because I'm an asshole.
I've been left outside alone.
Don't say
I
it
would just
like
like
that.
it to be known that Azjah answered my call, but not yours. Thank you.
Oh my god, listen, bestie, I'm sorry. What do you want from me? I'm a terrible host.
Okay, there
What
we
do you
go.
want?
I forgot. That's on me. I forgot to ask to be let in. That's on me. Where is Insight?
Insight should be on. Okay, so there's that second
Or
column.
investigation.
They're
Yeah.
alphabetical, so it's
Yeah.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
I hit a 23.
Whoa!
I got a 10.
Yeah, you're just enthralled with hearing more about these vials of Trix's.
Wow. I haven't seen so many vials on one person before.
Yeah, this one has blue blood, and then this one is a little bit darker than the other, and then the other one, it has a different viscosity to it. It's freaking amazing.
Olga cuts off Trix really quickly and says, "Trix, quickly. Now, I know Azjah, our Dr. Navik, will, whatever she comes across, trust that she has it under control. But I trust that if anything goes awry, you will let me know so we can come and help."
Yeah, I'll take care of Azjah. Just like out loud, still staring at Chezz.
There's like, at this point, I'm assuming that Azjah is now just noticing that Trix and Chezz are walking like quickly at this point behind her, then closing the gap. And if she were a cat, you would see the hair on the back of her neck stand up as she just stands there, visibly shaking and curling her hands into fists, so much so that like you can see the claws on her, like of her nails, digging into the flesh of her palm. And she releases and takes a deep breath. And once again, just says nothing.
Hey, Doc, have you seen these vials? You got like a lot of bottles at your place. No, I didn't see a lot of vials there. But Trix has vials.
She is ignoring you. As if you were nothing but like an ant at the bottom of her boot. Like she is not paying attention. She is already worked up. And she's just done. She's walking away.
I turn to Trix. Like, she must be like really intently listening. So it's okay. We can just keep going.
Yeah. And then I think to myself, wow, Olga's really cool.
Does Olga hear that?
Olga heard it.
Yeah.
Olga heard it. Olga heard it. And
Psychic shenanigans.
yeah. But she says nothing because she knows. But that's all Olga had to do. She's walking on with Deimos.
Beautiful. Chezz and Trix, how far, like how much of a gap are you leaving between you guys and Azjah? Or are you actively closing that gap?
I'm still transfixed by this vile conversation, so I'm just keeping up with Trix.
Yeah, I don't think we're trying to
They're going
close
on.
the gap, perchance, but definitely keeping an eye out on Azjah so we don't lose her.
Okay, so at like 20 feet or so, like a little bit more than that, like 30.
Yeah, let's say 30 feet ahead. Like, I can still see her.
Jesus.
And I think I've sent Vlad to just kind of circle the area. So every so often he'll fly over Azjah, not to bother her or anything, but just to make sure she's
Like
close.
getting a platypus eye view.
Yeah,
Okay.
as
sweet.
one does.
Yeah.
The old adage. Okay, so Vlad's just circling above, like fairly high, just to kind of like literally to get a bird's eye view of you guys and what's ahead and behind in the kind of area, right?
Yeah.
Sweet. Did we stat block Vlad?
Yeah, Vlad's just a raven.
Sweet. Okay, that's what I thought. Okay. You can give me a perception check for Vlad.
Like a drone that can lay eggs.
21.
21.
Yeah.
All right.
Ooh, nice.
Damn.
Yeah, so kind of circling above for a while, there isn't much. It's mainly walking through a lot of like industrial pieces, like ship containers and things. Not a lot happening, but as you get closer to the dock, the harbor, there is there's a small group of goblins working fairly close to the waterfront, sort of brownish kind of colored skin, almost like a murky kind of green to them. They seem to be working with like piping, moving that around, working on some kind of project there. Other than that, you see one ship that has I forget the name of pieces of a ship, but on the front, where there is usually like a carving or like a statuette, there is what looks like a fishtail that comes up from the bow of the ship. Other than that, there are no other sort of active ships in the area, but there's people kind of going on and off from that one. But that's kind of what Vlad can see up ahead as he's kind of circling as you guys walk towards the dock.
Yeah, I think it goes from Vlad's blood red eye that matches the heterochromia of Trix's, and then you kind of see like a quick snap, and they see like the group of goblins and the ship, and I think while still just kind of goofing around with Chezz, yells up to Azjah, "Azjah, I don't know what we're looking for, but there's a group of goblins right there, and they're working really hard, so maybe don't get in their way. And then there's one ship too. Do you want Vlad to look for anything?" And just like yelling at the top of their lungs.
No decorum.
No. Just excitement, honestly.
Azjah at this point kind of puts works their collar up just to kind of hide behind it a little bit more. as she takes a deep breath and closes her eyes and just turns around. No, Trix, I don't want you to do anything. And like her voice just ricochets at that point. And she turns back around, and there is more fervor in her step as she is moving at a hastened pace towards this group of goblins that has so unelegantly been brought to her attention. There is a very odd hush that comes over her as this shadow that is behind her from the sun starts to almost like waver a little bit, and it shrinks closer to her, and she just keeps walking.
So are you headed towards the goblin kind of group?
Yeah, I'm getting information. Like that, I'm very single-minded right now.
Okay.
I think Trix looks over at Chezz and is like, see, Azjah does want to talk to us. We're just kind of far away. So I think if we catch up, she doesn't want us to do anything, but I think if we're around, she'll be more inclined to like talk to you.
Yeah, no, I'm getting the vibe.
Okay, let's hurry up. And you kind of see like Trix and Chezz hand in hand, like kind of jog up to wherever Azjah's heading.
Fantastic. Azjah, give me a perception check as you're sort of angling yourself towards where you think you. Well, we'll see if you know where you're going.
22.
22, yeah.
We're using all of our good rules on these perception checks.
I know.
Get them out now. Yeah, so kind of training your eye on the direction that you see Trix looking in, and then looking up and seeing where Vlad is circling over. You kind of like mentally do some trigonometry and kind of figure out the general direction that you need to be heading in. And after like a minute or two, you start seeing this, or you hear first sort of the clanging of these pipes and things, and you see this group of goblins kind of like running around and moving pipes over and things, and they seem to be like working on the dock itself rather than like for a ship. But you see one that is kind of like yelling over the others, that has like this top hat on with a red bandana tied around as the band, and then a pair of goggles over the top of those. Seems to be the one in charge.
She almost kind of like saunters she's trying to be as unintimidating as possible, though that's hard because of who she is. So she just kind of yes.
Noted.
Yes. So she saunters up and is kind of just stops short before them. And then she very carefully reaches up to take her mask off. And she fastens the back of it and holds it kind of like a clutch in her hand. Would you mind telling me who is in charge?
The one with the top hat pipes up. Hey, yeah, it's me. What do you want, Toots?
Yes, my name is Dr. Azjah Navek, I would much prefer not to be called Toots.
All right. What do you want? I got jobs to do.
There's a moment of hesitation as she closes her eyes. The frustration on her face is evident. Well, Captain, I'm here investigating some odd occurrences. Perhaps you know about a person who suffered a very interesting and odd death.
Is that it? Lady, this is the docks. You think I don't see this every other shift?
Have you seen somebody who was missing their entire skeleton?
Oh, that one? Yeah, I remember that one.
Well, can you tell me about it?
Oh, yeah. I mean, and he looks towards the goblins that have all, like, stopped and are just kind of, like, looking towards this. You carry on! You don't need me! Just do it! Like, hops down off of one of the, like, larger pipes and things and says, yeah. Well, what do you want to know about it? There was a guy who didn't have a skeleton.
Do you know... Were there any identifiable markers?
Yeah, he didn't have a skeleton. That was
Captain.
pretty identifiable.
Captain, I assure you that you are not as unintelligent as you are presenting yourself as. Birthmarks,
Well, you don't have to call me
tattoos...
Captain.
I'm sorry?
You don't need to call me Captain.
Then what shall I call you?
Well, my name.
And how would I call you by a name that I do not have?
Well, aren't you the rude one for not asking me? Walk up on my crew expecting me to ask all these questions.
I think
you
at this
haven't even
point,
shown me any credentials.
Trix and Chezz makes it to this interaction, and it's like, hey, these are the goblins I was telling you about. Hey, my name's Trix. What's yours?
Hey, Trix. My name's Joe. Slick Joe. Oh, Chezz.
Hey, Joe. What's up,
buddy?
bud? Yeah, good to see you.
You know Slick Joe?
Yeah, I know everyone around here.
That's so cool.
Yeah. The train yard's not just the only place where I know folks, okay? I know people all over the place, all right? Joe's a good guy. Hard
Usually
worker, too.
it is.
Hard worker.
I think at this point, as this interaction is happening, Olga's just going to hear. I need you to understand. This was well played.
Darling, I know they don't compare with your shadow besties, but they'll do for right now, won't they?
I'm sure they will. Me, on the other hand, I may willingly suck on fumes and rid myself of them sooner than I have any additional conversation.
And nary a moment too soon.
I think you hear a soft chuckle. Jay?
This is a serious game, Raven. I'd like
It's so serious. I think Olga just hears a chuckle, but it is not like a sarcastic chuckle. It is very much like a, I see you, bitch. I see you.
Game recognizes game.
Yeah. It's very that. And then I kind of refocus. Chezz, why don't you work off your medical debt and get me the information I need on this gentleman without a skeleton? Skeleton.
You got it, Doc. So, Joe, all right, we're trying to track down some sort of bullshit, and there was a couple of guys. One was missing a skeleton, the other one was like cut in half or something. And we want to know if you've know anything about it, if you recognized them, or if they, aside from the no skeleton having thing, that's a pretty big identifier. I'm talking like, the tattoos, scars, birthmarks, that kind of thing.
I think we are frozen.
Bros did.
If only you did it. Oh, if only you did it right as you were dabbing earlier. That would have been so good.
Chezz with the permanent face palm.
I'm just
hear, but the vid is frozen.
Producer went for a snack, so it'll get fixed in a bit. If you can hear, enjoy the audio story.
Yeah, podcast time. Welcome.
Okay.
So, Joe says, "Yeah, exactly. The whole skeleton thing was a pretty good identifier.
Mhm.
Thank
Yeah.
you." Kind of
Yeah,
glares out of the corner of his eye.
most
towards-
people have a skeleton.
except this guy,
Yeah, that's wild.
We're back now.
and he wish he had
Okay.
one.
But did
Fine.
you did you know the guy? Did you see him at all, or was it just something you overheard from the gossip around here?
Me and the crew were the ones that found him.
Oh, snap.
I think at that point, that's when Azjah just
snap,
takes.
Just wish.
She takes out a notebook and writes, "No snap, just squish."
What is all this? You guys forming a detective agency?
No.
Yes.
Slick Joe, I am just.
Oh,
I am. How do I say this? I am a doctor of death. It fascinates me, and we are investigating strange occurrences in the unliving. So, no snap, you say, just squish. What
Yeah.
color hair did he have?
red.
Okay, perfect,
Like
yes.
bright red, not just like a redhead or a strawberry blonde.
Strawberry blonde, yes.
No,
Great.
not a strawberry blonde.
No, not, yes, obviously, of course. I'm so silly. And like she rolls
like
her
a
eyes.
Duracell battery.
I'm sorry, I don't know what that is.
Like all coppery on top.
Oh. All right. Delightful. Was he human? Was he elf-ish? Was he
He was at least human presenting from what I saw.
human presenting? Got it.
I didn't go check it.
Well, normally you would see if the ears are a different shape.
It didn't seem appropriate.
I suppose in your line of work that is accurate. Do you know where they brought him?
What do you mean by that?
You don't run a morgue.
No, I don't.
So
How
then,
astute of you.
how astute of me indeed. Do you know where they took him, Joe?
He turns to Chezz and goes, "This one will do great in your detective agency."
Yeah, no, she's real serious.
Yeah,
Not the best people person, but you know what? Sometimes that works.
yeah.
Huh. Anyway, as I've stated and asked multiple times, do you know where they have taken him?
I mean, probably to the city morgue.
Perfect. Then I suppose that will be our next step. Well, this has been useful, if not painful.
You telling me?
Well, Joe, though I do not like you, if you do require any medical assistance that most doctors cannot care for, you can find me at the edge of the city.
You don't like me?
Not quite.
She won't use anesthesia even if she does like you. Just letting you know.
That's inaccurate. Only for you, Chezz.
Hurtful.
Well, Joe, just so you know,
That's the point.
You haven't been attacked by Azjah yet, so that's one step above other people.
No. Rough around the edges. Little bit of a feral side.
Not feral.
You
a little
can
dangerous.
see at this point there is a silent fury that is bubbling beneath Azjah.
Oh, she's brooding again. We probably got to go. Anyway, it was good seeing you, Joe. And then I go in and we do our secret
Where are
handshake.
you guys going?
To the
Away
morgue, right?
From you.
Away from me. She makes snap judgments. This one, maybe she shouldn't be in your detective agency.
Azjah very quickly leans in and grabs or attempts to grab this little guy by the scruff of his neck and like pull him nose to nose.
Make an attack roll.
Yes, perfect.
Oh shit!
Perfect.
Oh shit!
Slick
Joe.
Action. Do I just like unarmed strike?
Yep.
Okay.
Actually, no. This would be a contested athletics check to try and grapple him.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, athletics is not my strong suit, so let's go.
That is.
Shouldn't try to grab someone named Slick Joe.
You have to be at a 19.
I did not beat a 19. I got a 12.
So you go and you reach out to grab him, and he just like, almost like S-bends away from you slightly.
Perfect.
Wow,
Was a
I
monkey
see why they call
Luffy.
him Slick Joe.
Catch Slick Joe!
I think at that point, she snarls almost, and her eyes go black. The bright orange that is in her eyes is eclipsed by the shadow. And she lowers her voice, but her voice almost sounds as if it is a coalescence of hers and another. Deeper, more masculine. I am not to be trifled with, Slick Joe. Do not get on my bad side.
Was he not already? He came at him pretty hard. I'm just saying.
And
He says, "Is there only trifle on your good side?"
God damn it, Azjah, because I know exactly what you're gonna do. She
Perform an autopsy on him?
Oh God. Okay, here's how I want to flavor this. She's gonna lean in and try to just like run her like the back of her hand against his cheek, just scratching him a little bit. But like he probably wouldn't know that she's trying to scratch him. Like she's genuinely like just trying to sneak her hand. And she is going to essentially cast.
Are you casting a touch spell?
I am.
Okay. Because he is not trusting, so you will have to make a roll for this.
That's fine. What would you like me to roll? Do you want me to roll the actual?
Spell attack, yeah.
Okay. So
His AC is 16.
Okay. She's going to cast inflict wounds, but I don't want it to do actual damage. The way that I want to flavor it is he's going to have a scratch that literally won't heal. It's just going to be a mild to moderate inconvenience. If that's okay, because I don't want to kill this guy.
Yep.
And like, I'm trying to be sneaky about it.
Okay. Do we do an attack roll or do we do a sleight of hand? So to be fair, you are trying to cast this, but you are trying to seem gentle with him.
More gentle, yes.
Okay. You can give me a sleight of hand, or a persuasion, or a performance, but all three of these are going to be at disadvantage because you already tried to grab him by the scruff.
Okay. So I am going to do...
I won't make you lose the spell slot unless you're successful.
I got a 5. Ugh. I rolled a 21 and a 5. So 5.
21 would have done it. He steps back again and goes, hands off the merchandise, toots.
She snarls and just walks away.
So how you been, Chezz? You been keeping good?
Yeah, I'm not too bad. You know, this detective thing it's been pretty fun so far. I'm sorry about her. She's not a people
don't
person,
worry
like
about
I
it. I'm
said.
just giving her a hard time.
Yeah, I know how you are, man.
Still breaking loose balls.
Yes. Well, it's kind of like a back and forth, you know. He breaks my balls, I break his balls, and you know, it's fun. It's fun.
I think he likes you, really.
Oh, I'm sure he does. Who doesn't?
There's
Come
no
on.
way anyone would put up the amount of shit that you've given him if he didn't have, like, some sort of parasocial father-son kind of relationship. Like, I'm gonna look after you, but also treat you like shit so you don't realize it.
Yeah, if I were more self-aware, I would probably agree with you.
So is this detective agency is a new venture that you're running into?
Yeah, just I got a gold coin for lugging a body across town. So
Hey, it's a step in the right direction. You're cash flow positive.
Exactly. Well, I spent it immediately when we went to the bar, right after. Yeah, but you know,
that's what's cool.
that was my coin to spend. So
it was yours. It was your decision to make as an adult, as an
Yes.
adult entrepreneur.
you are correct. I fluffed my collar a little bit and like kind of stared at the sky, proud.
In Azjah's ear, she just hears very calmly but confidently, "Well, Dr. Toots, do we have a lead?"
You hear back, but in a voice that is not entirely her own.
Mm-hmm.
Call me that and I'll break that pretty little finger of yours.
Oh, and when do I get to meet you?
Don't worry about that.
I've been waiting so long.
You act as if I am not Azjah. How queer.
Do we have a lead?
I'm going to the city morgue. I want to see if I can get hands on that meat sack of a body.
Well, we've almost arrived. We'll keep you updated.
Delightful. And that's it.
So you're investigating all the weird deaths and shit?
Yeah. I don't know. Typically the police would take care of this, but we have kind of like a investment, personal investment.
Well, they ain't worth shit here. Did you talk to Faustus?
Yeah, we just got back from the train yard.
How's he doing?
Oh, he's doing great. Real helpful, lugging the baggage around, doing his thing.
Classic Fausty.
Yeah, good guy.
Did you ask him? Because he knows about one that was like cut in half.
I think we did. Yeah. He gave us a little bit of info on that one. We got a lot of leads.
Did he tell you about any others?
Did he tell us about any others? I don't remember.
Just two. The meat sack and the.
just these two weird stiffs, yeah.
Do you want the tea and some more?
Spill it.
I will pour it carefully into a cup for you to drink because I'm classy like that.
Yeah, you are.
There was another one that was found on the way up towards the heights. No head, just a body.
Ow.
But what was weird was that the skin had grown over the wound.
Like there was no, you couldn't see inside his neck. It was just like
he was born without a head.
like a Ken doll.
Don't they come with heads?
Well, when you take them off, flat.
Yeah, but they had one to begin with.
Well, yeah, I'm saying, but like this guy, he had a head to begin with, I assume too, but now he doesn't, and it's just flat
Maybe.
skin.
Did you see it?
Got a point there.
Just saying.
Okay, you said it was up by the heights?
Oh yeah, up by the heights.
Okay, all right. I guess I'll take my agency and we'll look into that one as well.
There was another one that I know about.
Jesus, really?
Yeah, I work on the docks.
That's
Wait.
true. You guys get all the hot goss around here.
What do you expect? We just have high tea with cucumber sandwiches?
I'd go for one of those right now. So what's this other body all about? What weird thing did they do to him?
Oh, this one was super weird. So, his body was attached with like these strings and attached to like a marionette handle.
What?
Yeah, these strings are coming out of his hands and feet and his head. And they all went up to like this, the cross thing the puppet people hold.
Yeah.
Yeah, what of them?
Was he like hanging from something, or they just found him on the ground and the splayed out with all the strings?
On the ground, but it was just like a puppet master had just dropped him just onto the ground.
I'm having he's like, I'm taking notes on the palm of my I'm having a hard time connecting any of this. But then again, I'm more of the questions guy of the agency. I don't really do the, I'm not the deep diving into the, the theories and, connected dots and stuff.
I see that in you. You got a nose for it.
Mm-hmm. Well, people like talking to me, and, they don't like talking to her. That's
You're
for
a
damn sure.
likable guy. You should lead.
I'm not much of a leader. I prefer to just kind of,
No. Don't sell yourself short. If you're in a group, you should definitely be the front runner, making all the decisions.
I'd rather just, pass the ball to other people, make sure they're doing their best, and, just support them. That's kind of my
You're too good to people. You're a gem among us. Don't
spit
let
on the
anyone
ground.
tell you any different. You're a good kid, Chezz.
I appreciate it, man. You're one of the good guys. You and the rest of your crew, you're fun. You're a bunch of fun guys.
We are fun. I will admit that.
All right, well, I guess we better head to the morgue or up to the height. I guess we got a lot of places to go. Wait, where did you say this marionette thing was?
That one was over in, like, towards the 1 second. Yes. Towards the Black Heart Wood.
Gotcha.
You know that pathway that leads from the city all the way to the woods?
Yeah. No, I've walked that a couple times.
It's a nice walk.
Yeah, well, until you stumble upon a marionette corpse, I guess.
Well, yeah, but that doesn't happen all the time.
True. All right, well, thank you. Honestly, every time I talk to you, you're helpful or you're just fun.
Hey, it's good to see you.
Always good to see you. You guys, where are you guys leaving? You coming? What are you doing?
Now we're fixing up these pipes over here.
Oh,
then we'll
right.
probably be over to the sitting duck.
All right. Well, I'll probably pop in and see you guys there later.
All right,
All right. Say hi to Lou for me.
will do.
And then
Hey, Trix. You're quiet, but you're smiley, and I like that.
It's just really cool
they're
to
awesome.
see.
They're awesome.
It's just really cool to see friends helping out friends. But also, can you not call Azjah Toots anymore? Because that wasn't very nice.
Oh yeah, that's fine. She was just rude, so I was winding her up.
Well, other than that, I think you're pretty cool.
Yeah, you just gotta give what you get.
Or you can just give good and hope nobody else does bad stuff to you.
You could do that, and then you'd be called a doormat.
That's actually very
A
poignant.
very positive outlook on life, and I admire it.
Thanks, Slick Joe. You gave me something to think about.
You're welcome.
And at this point, Trix starts like walking away with Chezz and says out loud, but is also thinking about Olga, and it's like, wow, Olga's gonna freak out that we figured out there's 2 more bodies. One's beheaded with a skin neck, and the other one is a marionette on the way to Azjah's place. That is wild.
Yeah. Yeah. You should tell her.
Olga responds, "Well, I just found out, Trix. Thank you for that information."
She knows already.
Oh, I figured.
She's
I
a
saw you
smart
doing
girl.
that thing with your eyes, and I saw Olga and Deimos do it, and
Oh, what did they
I had
do?
you know, where they like talk without talking.
Is this a normal thing?
For them, I've never done it.
Oh, but I'm doing it?
Yeah.
Can I do it to Azjah? And then I try to think about Azjah, and it's like, hey, we just found out. I say this out loud. Trix says this out loud. Hey, there's 2 more dead bodies. Did you get that from Slick Joe? I know you walked off and you were super angry, but he's kind of cool. He's a little misogynistic, but I think it's because he's not around women a lot, and it's okay.
Trix, it's still me.
Oh. Okay. Olga?
Best of luck next time, sweetheart.
Okay.
You
And
might
with
want to
that-
tell her.
Sorry, go on.
That's all.
And with that, we're going to flip to the other 2, heading towards the heights in Nettles Head Gated Community. Is there anything you guys would have spoken about out loud, I guess this time, along the way, as you kind of maybe like a couple of hundred yards away from Nettles Head that you can kind of see up in the distance?
I know Olga's been doing a lot of listening to what was going on with the others. But I think at this point she is actively disengaging with the telepathy, not ending it, but not making it a point to connect. And she is walking the rest of the way toward the heights, more focused in on Deimos and what they are seeking to do.
Deimos is uncharacteristically quiet the entire walk, doesn't make any small talk with you, and is mostly fuming, growling, angry sighing with clenched fists for most of the walk. Unless you do or say anything to stop her out of it, that is what she is stuck in.
So Olga's looking in the distance and noticing how far out the entrance to this gated community appears to be, and is aware of how many yards are between them and the gate, and sort of starts to like not slow down necessarily, but her walk that was like more full of conviction and focused on the task at hand becomes more like a traipsing, like not dance, but almost like a flirty sidestep to Deimos, and she kind of steps a little bit closer and puts a shoulder out and like gently rubs the side of Deimos' arm as if to nudge, but not quite. It's more of like a brush against. And she sort of like leans her head. You know, it's not good to carry so much stress. Not stress that you don't offload, Deimos.
I have every intention to find somewhere to put it. We just have to get through this, and then I will figure it out.
Are the deaths stressing you so much? I don't think the deaths have anything to do with those clenched fists of yours.
I don't like to be called out of my name, and you know that. Especially not that word.
I know. But you know, it was said only to rile you up.
Well, then it worked. And it's for the best we didn't go the same way, because... I said a long time ago I wouldn't let someone call me that again.
I hope you know that I don't see you that way.
I know, if I thought it, I wouldn't be here right now. It is reassuring to know at least one person doesn't.
And Olga sort of like takes her hand and like very gently traces like 2 fingers down the back of Deimos' shoulder, down the back of her bicep, like down her elbow, down her forearm, and then finds that little spot that I was about to show was very finds a little spot in the fist where
I'm listening.
Go
a
on.
little spot
Intently.
in the fist where you would like stick your fingers in to help like unroll. To help
Wait, where is this spot?
Okay, so let's do it like this. So she's tracing her fingers down and she's sort of like sticking her fingers right here to help unclench the fist that Deimos has. Now my eyes are watering. Thank you so much.
It can have that effect.
I mean, I'm into it, so
Honestly, we're all
Some-
crying.
Say more.
And so my fingers are just kind of gently just prying the fist open.
you
Mhm,
doing that is
mhm,
not helping.
mhm, mhm, mhm. No, it's helping.
I mean, it is, but it's not. But it is.
I know my eyes are
Dam-
watering.
Deimos opens her fist and looks at you. I'll be okay. I always am. So don't worry about it. We just have to figure out what's going on, and then we'll be done with it all.
All right. Well, if there is anything that I can do to make things easier, you'll tell me, won't you?
Deimos takes a beat and stops and considers 102 different things she could say before saying, of course.
And Olga turns away from Deimos and looks onward as they're just approaching the gate. Does the gate appear to be locked, or is there a guard, or
Yeah, so let's say that this conversation happens while we get through the gated community. So you guys walk upon this like giant, like blackened iron fence that goes as far left and right as you guys can see. Like only a handful of houses are on the inside of these gates. There is a small sort of check-in point that is abandoned. You guys would know that this hasn't kind of been manned in a really long time. And the gate is somewhat ajar, and you guys are able to slip between and continue walking through. As you guys kind of look out onto the inside of Nettle's Head, there are, like I said, a handful of houses. Most of them seem derelict. Windows boarded, possibly foreclosed on. You guys have been here and been sort of denizens of Kettlebrek long enough to know that there hasn't been a lot of money, a lot of opportunity to earn greatly. And so what happened was when the introduction of like the train line and things came in, and major exports and imports, or mainly exports from Kettlebrek started happening, if you weren't ingrained in those businesses, you lost out as the Kettlebrek switched into this more industrial sort of hub outside of Skellingchester. And so if you didn't have enough old money to last on, or you weren't invested or owned or any kind of a grip on these big industrial businesses, two of which you would know. One is Vinegold Incorporated, and the other one is Farblood Enterprises.
Okay.
But yeah, so like a lot of like old money lost out, and they kind of lost everything, had to move out, or whatever happened to them. But there is one house, the largest one of the group, sort of at the back of this sort of pentagon of houses, with this small, what looks like it should have been like a nice sort of flower bed garden sort of communal area in the center. The one ahead has some lights on and looks a lot more well kept than the rest of them.
Well, Olga, how about I handle this house call?
I don't feel good about that. You're not going in alone.
No, of course not. I mean, you're very good at getting us into places your way, and I'm good at my way. Just want to remind people who everyone answers to on the streets of Kettlebrek.
Oh, I do like when you remind people what you're capable of. I am all for this plan, Deimos. Show them what you have.
I go up to the door and I knock very politely. Very polite, calm, normal knock.
Yeah, it takes sort of a couple of beats, and just before you kind of feel that urge to kind of knock again, but a little bit louder, you hear from inside the house, "Just a minute!" As
take your time.
Another minute goes by. "I'm almost there!"
No rush, truly.
Another few beats go by, and then you hear the "Hello? as this sort of head pops out as it starts to open up the doorway. You can see more and more of this form. Standing above you, looking down, is this sort of gray-furred. Roll me a nature check, guys.
You got it.
Both of
I'm
us?
zero the nature. Let's go.
Yeah, nature or history.
I got a nat 20.
All right, that's where you want to spend it. Great. Okay.
Sorry. Oh, great. Yeah, you got it. So I.
Yeah, we're
Smoke
good.
him if you got him.
Yeah. So this sort of fur, like gray furred being with this.
Oh, I also got a nat 20.
Oh
Sorry.
shit! What?
I read it in one of Olga's books one night.
Yeah, like she leans out the door and you're both like, I know what you are. No, she opens the door, gray fur, wearing this sort of older, worn, sort of like almost like a French maid's outfit, but not quite as risque. With arms that kind of droop to around her knees. She leans out with these little pointed ears, one that has like a little bit missing from it. This is a bugbear. And she says, what can I do for you?
Just a moment of your time. We have some questions concerning some odd occurrences that have been happening in our fair town.
Questions?
Yes.
Oh, I'm afraid I'm not one to know things.
Well,
I just missed.
Say that again, please.
I'm not one to know things. I just assist.
Right. Well, if you assist, then you may know plenty, but who do you assist with?
Oh, the good doctor.
Yes, of course. Is the good doctor in?
Yes, you do have an appointment.
I walk past them, or I attempt to just walk past them.
You go to walk past them, and it's like a force. Like they look very sort of old and fragile, but there's a muscle mass to this.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to be aggressive with this, you can roll a contested athletics.
You got it, Chief.
Push through, or you can talk your way around it.
I'm already rolling.
Oh, all right.
You can tell that Olga's standing right behind Deimos, just biting her tongue.
I rolled
just
a
like.
natural 20 for a total of 25.
I did not roll a natural 20. I got it went away. It wasn't a natural 20, so it wouldn't matter.
It's
I
14.
would 14. I was like, I would need a natural 20 to beat it.
So there's something about the way that she's kind of positioned, like holding like the door frame and the door, where her shoulders are kind of braced. So as you go to push through, she's kind of just already kind of leaning into it. So it's not that you're not strong enough, it's just that she's already kind of braced, just in the position that she's in. And so there's kind of like a little like pushback, like, oh, yeah, I mean, I can see if the good doctor will see you.
Let me say it this way.
You may come into the waiting room.
Sure. Let the doctor know the beast of Kettlebrek needs a word.
Oh. Well,
Thank you.
and who are you, dear?
Darling, I'm shocked you don't remember me. I've sold the doctor many medical tomes over the last 20, 30 years.
Well, that would be impressive. He's not a medical doctor.
You don't know very much, do you?
No, I just assist.
I know, dear. Can you please let the doctor know that Olga Mars and Deimos, the beast of Kettlebrek, are here, and I have more tomes to offer as well.
Olga Mars, beast of Kettlebrek. All right, I think I can remember that. If you would take a seat. over here. There's two like studded leather sort of wing-backed chairs in this what once would have been sort of a vibrant red. It's now turned to more of like a scarlet, like worn. There's a couple of cracks in the leather, but the backs are sort of what would have been gold, now kind of brassy. Feel free to take a seat, Miss Beast and Miss Olga.
I flash a smile.
I'm also smiling, but mostly because Miss Beast made me very happy to hear.
She smiles back the way that a bugbear would smile. Hold 1 second. And she walks off. Again, another few minutes pass, and she comes back. Oh, the good doctor doesn't have any appointments right now, and so is able to see you. Please follow me.
Certainly.
Walk this way.
Talk this way.
And so starts to lead you guys into a like a small personal library, octagonal shaped room, where as you look towards the back, there's like this bay window with 3 of the walls along the outside coated with these shelves sort of built into the walls themselves. There is a library ladder that slides around over the door and around to the other side. But ahead of you, sat on another studded leather couch that kind of matches the wing chairs in the waiting room. It's just the foyer. Is an elderly man, very, very slight, has a monocle pressed into one of his eyes that's just kind of held up by like the deep bags and lines that are under his eyes. He has a cane unclasped under his hands with white hair. Sort of what is there is kind of pulled into this like, you know, old man like pompadour thing when it's like, this is starting to thin and I don't know what to do, so I'll just clump the hair in a shape style to it, with this like pointed goatee that comes off of his chin very slightly, like right down the bottom of the chin, just pointing off to the sides, and then like a thin mustache that kind of does the same, not like a handlebar that twists, but just kind of leaves the face in 2 little points on the side, and wearing white gloves. You guys would recognize this man from one of the portraits. This is Dr. Cornelius Anders.
Hello, good doctor.
Hello. What can I do for 2 characters such as yourselves, Miss Beast of Kettlebrek and Miss Olga?
Well, I'm sure there are plenty of things here. Let's start with the first thing. You, are very illustrious. One of the only wealthy members left that live in this fair town.
Well, not all of us have the foresight to invest in the obvious opportunities.
Yes, your investments. Were you having a meeting about those investments this week?
I'm sorry?
I'm sorry, did you not hear me? And I mind Lincoln is mine. Were you having a meeting about those investments this week?
I have many meetings throughout the week concerning my investments, and none of those pertain to you.
Oh, I believe they do. You see, one of your business partners has turned up dead.
I would say I'm surprised, but I'm not. And which one would you be referring to?
We Which one do you think? I sit down. I put my foot up on his desk.
I didn't come here. You did. You come into my home and expect me to play guessing games with you? Which business? I am well invested across most of Skellingchester and Kettlebrek.
The rail.
Which business?
The rail.
The rail, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're getting somewhere. So that leaves one of three is sat in front of you. So 50-50 chance either way.
Olga pulls the bonds out of her pocket and just throws them down on the table in front of him, and they just fall with a thwap.
Yeah, like a dossier
Mm-hmm.
as they kind of spray out, like almost spread like a hand of cards.
Mm-hmm.
Without flinching, he looks over and says, "Where did you find those?"
Well, you see, he was my business partner too.
Deimos, that's what we call it. Okay.
Very important business. You wouldn't understand, and by the looks of it, you haven't understood in a very long time, but he was a close friend. And this was all he left behind. There's nothing left of him.
So now you pertain to insults within my house, asking me questions, expecting me to play your games.
Sir, yes, I do expect you to play our games because by the looks of it, important people like yourself are being targeted around Kettlebrek. So you are in a very good position to make allies with us. We really do not need to be allies with you in this regard. For all we know, you might be next.
Did you
If
meet
you
with him?
really knew who I was, you wouldn't be saying that.
Oh, did you meet with him this week? Yes or no?
Morningstar, I did.
Interesting. Was he coughing quite a bit?
I suppose.
How have you been feeling?
Oh, well, you know, like I'm 21.
Fantastic, then you have nothing to worry about. If your eyes start growing tree stalks, though, I would be concerned that you're about to turn into a horrible mushroom monster and die.
I suppose this is you unveiling the poor fate that beheld Mr. Morningstar and veiling it as a threat towards me in order for me to throw myself down on my knees to ask for your help.
No, I don't
Find that here.
Well, let me be very, very, very clear, good doctor. I really don't fucking care what happens to you in particular. I'm just trying to figure out where Mr. Morningstar got sick from. If it wasn't from you, and then you get sick, well, I suppose your assistant will kill you and turn you into a pile of goo, or you'll get her sick and you'll be two monsters, and then we'll kill you and turn you into a pile of goo. That's really all I'm here to ascertain. So, if you'd like to help, fantastic. If you want to do this tit for tat, listen, old man, I will win, and you will be dead. So really the choice is
Murder
yours.
an old man in his house for sticking up for himself.
Sir, we are not the ones wielding the illness, so if you fall ill, this threat is not coming from us.
You claim to be offering help, but your tone and words say otherwise.
Would you like help or not?
Help with?
Figuring out what is causing this mess and potentially sparing the lives of other people. I don't want to lose another business partner, if you understand.
Business partner.
Yes.
Yes, business partner. Deimos says with a cut in her voice over her shoulder, listen, I understand how people like you work. You want to know what's in it for you. You want to know you can make money off of it.
You claim to know me so well, yet you know so little, Miss Beast. He stands up from his couch, leaning on the cane heavily to push himself up, and starts walking between you towards the door that you entered, and says, "It's funny you should show up when you did, because I've been looking for someone just like you," and pushes the doors shut. With that, Azjah and Trix, that kind of weird like prickle on the back of your head that started when the telepathy was cast upon you suddenly ends.
Finally.
And that's where we're gonna take our 10-minute break.
See you in 10 minutes, besties. Make sure to hydrate, get some water, stretch. I can't.
That whiteboard has been doing the most.
And we will see you in just a few. Don't go anywhere.
Hi! Welcome back. I don't
jump
usually
scare.
talk first. This isn't my channel. But yes, hello. I am Jay Foster, Swole Initiative on the internets, your invading dungeon master here for the Wretched Harvest on Ravenous Tales, or any other pronunciation that you see fit. Before the break, as we left off, Azjah, Chezz, and Trix had headed towards the docks and had met Slick Joe, the goblin crew runner that Chezz knew. After causing some abrasions, you managed to get some information out of him. He was the one that found the meat sack, which is what everyone's calling in chat. So he was the one that found the meat sack, and gave you some sort of identifier information about him, as well as letting you know about another couple of bodies that were found. One that had there was like no head. But the skin had completely grown over. And the other one was a body that was found with marionette strings coming from the hands and feet attached to a puppeteer's handle. As Azjah walked away from the sort of verbal assault that you guys got into, where are you headed, Azjah?
I am headed to the city morgue, but I'm going to kind of take my time. I'm going through the harbor. I kind of also want, as I'm walking, I want to hear any potential chatter about strange deaths.
Okay, so you're just kind of walking through towards where like the people are bringing things on and off the ship, like that one ship, that area there. Yeah, easy enough. Give me a perception check as you walk up. Are you walking like slowly? Are you stealthing? Are you walking nonchalantly? What's the vibe check here?
I'm walking as I always walk, very brooding, edgy. It's not slow, but the steps are very intentional.
Okay, Cool. Yeah, just give me a perception check.
8.
8. There's a lot of clattering of voices and different like crates and things being slammed down. It's fairly noisy here. Like the sound of like seabirds and gulls kind of overhead. It's hard to pick out like individual voices. You don't really hear anything to do with strange deaths. Although there is one voice that sticks out amongst the crowd because it is very familiar to you.
I pause, and there's almost like a twitch in the tip of my ear as I furrow my brow and kind of just look in the direction of the voice, not necessarily knowing why it's familiar, but feeling that pull.
Yeah, so as you stop and start to try and hone in on that voice, you look over to the left towards the ship, which has this large like bronze like fishtail coming off of the front of the boat, and along the sort of the bridge that leads over towards the side of the ship, you see someone that you haven't seen in a very long time, not since your days in the orphanage. There is a sort of dark, almost like lilac, sort of purple, with darker tones to it in the shadows. Small folk, around the size of a gnome, 2.5, 3 feet from where you're at. He is hanging on to a rope and is barking orders at the crew beneath him, kind of carrying out crates and things. And you can see now that you're close enough, the smell kind of hits you, and it's fish. It stinks. But you can see, like, in crates and like boxes, like they're salted and things, like these bodies of fish. There are fresh ones and things being pulled over in nets. But this is Bernard.
I kind of narrow my gaze a bit, and I move my way through whatever traffic there is, which seems to almost like, it's like a bubble wherever I go, where people just kind of don't come close. And I move through the pedestrian foot traffic, and I stand. It smells bad, but I literally smell death pretty consistently, so it's not nearly as bad. Bernard, I trust that salve has been working.
Are you calling out from sort of the next to the ship up to the top of like the gangway that leads up?
Yeah.
He immediately stops mid-sentence, hearing your voice, and looks down and says, "Oh, Azjah, how are you? It's been a long time, no?"
Sure. Long time, Bernard. It is odd to see you.
I take that as compliment. 1 second. And he lets go of the rope and walks down the gangway around some of the other crew that are loading on and off, and jumps down just below sort of your hip height, looking up. He takes out a small like cob pipe and starts to light it, puts it in his mouth.
Bernard, that will kill you.
Not yet. We'll see. Luck is on my side, right?
Sure. Luck. How is your affliction?
He kind of looks around and says, "It's healed up. I cannot express enough thanks to you."
I know. Anyway, while it is nice to see you, obviously, and I use the term nice very loosely, I need information. And you might just be the deep gnome to gather it for me.
Deep gnome, I prefer Svirfneblin.
I'm not going to say that.
It's easy. Svirf. Say it with me. Say it with Svirf.
Bernard,
Spear.
we're not children, Bernard.
Neblin.
How about I just call you a grime
nibble.
biter?
Like nibbling, but nibbling.
Grimy used to be something that you loved back in the day.
We don't talk about
Isn't that right, Grimy? Now, you'll tell me what I need to know, or you'll find it, right? Consider this you paying your debt.
This is debt repaid?
This is debt repaid. As long as you provide me information that is good and leads me to the answers that I need to know.
That is big contingency.
Well, I don't need everything, but if it points me in the direction that I need to be in, consider it repaid. Not so big contingency. More your size contingency.
Hey. Don't be sizist.
There's a bit of a coy grin.
And you can see, like, the corner of his mouth is, like, upturned a little bit. It's like dry humor that he's trying to get you to crack a little bit.
All right, then. Suppose I won't.
Then let me see if I can help. And he sort of pops up on top of one of the posts that are used to, like, tie down ships. So he pops up on top of one of those and sits there.
There have been a series of odd and unfortunate life-ending events. Deaths, if you will.
I am picking up what you're putting down.
As you always are. Anyway, by the way, did you know Trix was back in town?
Trix! Wow! Really?
Oh yeah. And like Azjah points to Trix and Chezz. So, right there.
They're a lot bigger than I remember.
Well, that is what happens when you, well,
Not to everyone.
that is what happens for most.
In before you, eh?
At least you're closer to the grave. I'm sorry, dark humor, Bernard.
Yeah, no, you got me on that one. I didn't have a retort.
Good. Anyway, there's been an odd series of deaths. A person was found here without a skeleton. There was a person who ended up dying in my lab, let's say, from mushrooms.
That one sounds like you problem.
They're all going to be me problems, Bernard. This is what I do. Anyway,
Okay.
and then there was another person who was just missing their front half. Have you heard about any of these? Or anything additional?
I've heard. Everyone knows Slick Joe. Slick Joe run his mouth everywhere.
I don't like that miscreant.
You don't like Slick Joe? He's such a nice guy. You need to give him chance.
I prefer not to give chances when they are not needed. Bernard, you know this.
Well, did he do anything to not deserve a first chance?
He opened his stupid little mouth.
It's very judgmental.
So be it. Can you tell me anything that Slick Joe has not already told my colleagues?
Is these guys
Yeah, we're,
As you
we're
guys,
detectives.
sort of coming around?
Yeah. I think at this point, Trix has been fixated on Chezz the whole time. Even when Chezz waved at Bernard, they were just like, so we have 4 bodies now. One of them is a meat sack. The other one is halved, but from the front. The other one's a marionette puppet. And the other one is a Ken doll. Weird. Azjah needs to know. And walks right up to Azjah and is like, Azjah, did you know that there's 2 more bodies? There's 2 more bodies that Slick Joe told us about.
Yeah, after you fled the scene in embarrassment, he gave us a little more information about a couple more bodies.
I would be very careful what you call embarrassment, especially with me.
I mean, he did try to rough him up, but he kind of pulled a fast one on you. I'm just saying.
Oh, so you think I was embarrassed instead of frustrated that I couldn't get my hands on that weasel? Interesting.
One and the same?
Is
Absolutely
Goblin
not.
Goblin
Bernard, please.
is.
Bernard?
Hey, Trix! Long time no see. Huh? You get it? The water, sea, like SEA, is joke, synonym, like rhymes with SEE.
Trix takes a step in front of Azjah, and their demeanor has completely changed. Back to Bernard, and is like, that's Bernard Grindbiter.
Yes?
Are you cool with Bernard?
I'm not cool with anyone.
Well, it doesn't seem like you're giving Bernard the same type of Azjah treatment that you gave to, let's say, Slick Joe.
Is there a reason I should?
At this point, Trix kind of has this flashback of, holy shit, Azjah doesn't know that Bernard was the tipping point of them leaving. Bernard was the one that convinced the sisters that Azjah was doing evil deeds. And they're very confused right now because the puzzle pieces are coming together, but the edges are a little jagged. And you see Trix slowly turn around, and their eyes are almost like you can feel the rage inside their eyes. and you see them clench their fists, and they're going to cast Cloud of Daggers. And you see them clench their fists so hard that small little droplets of blood come out of their palms. And from this, the blood almost dissipates immediately as these blood red daggers surround Bernard. And Trix takes one step close to Bernard. Why are you talking to Azjah? Why are you pretending like everything is okay?
Is everything fine? Why hostility?
Trix.
No, you just hear Trix say, no! The daggers come in half an inch closer. Why is there hostility?
I'm like in the back. I have Muffin in my hand, and I'm like just kind of like shielding him. But just like
at this point, Vlad has come around and sat on Trix's shoulder, and this is the first time you've ever seen Vlad show aggression. And they kind of stand up on their hind legs, and you can see their fangs out, almost matching the blood red daggers.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You're the reason, Bernard. Why are you even talking to Azjah? Azjah, why are you talking to Bernard?
What
reason?
reason?
They're adults. It's
What is
Azjah,
happening?
and you see the daggers come in one more, like they're like tips on Bernard, and you see Trix turn around. Why are you talking to Bernard?
I'm not sure why I shouldn't be, Bellatrix. Tell me what is happening.
Bernard drops his cob pipe as the daggers get closer, and a lot of the other, I would say Trix wouldn't see this, but Chezz and Azjah would see a lot of the other crew members starting to stop and pay attention.
You see Trix kind of release a little bit of a grip from their palms, and they close their eyes, and you just see tears streaming down, and you see the daggers that once were crimson red just start fading, and as they take a breath in, the cloud of daggers kind of dissipates into the air, and Trix falls down to their knees. And I don't understand why this interaction is happening right now. There is no reason that Bernard should be talking to you. There should be no reason, and darts over their eyes over at Bernard, that Azjah hasn't killed you yet and taken your body for all of its worth. There is no reason.
Hey, no, calm down, Trix. And he kind of looks over to one side and kind of motions down, as you see like a lot of the other sort of crew members are starting to like walk towards and kind of getting their haunches up a little bit. As he motions down, they start to relax a little bit, but you can see they're still on alert.
Yeah, and when Trix hears calm down, immediately from their knees points, you do not tell me how to act anymore. And you see Vlad on the shoulder get back into a defensive stance. You do not tell me how to act. You should not be using your words to tell anybody what to do. my fingers points over at Azjah, this time with aggression, this time trembling. You do not need to be talking to this person.
I can see that this is something you are quite passionate about, Trix, but
It's not passion, Azjah. Bernard is the reason I left. Bernard ratted you out to the sisters. Bernard is the reason that you got tortured as a kid. They are the reason, and you see Trix just from this defensive stance just like crumble back into like this fetal position of, why is this happening right now? What the hell is going on? And they can't even mutter out the words, and you just hear, this is not okay.
I think there's a moment where Azjah dissociates. There is a vacancy in her eyes as the words are muttered, and she is thrown back into that room. She is thrown into the memories of being pulled by her arm to a point where it almost came out of the socket. She is thrown back into memories of being mocked and ridiculed. Before she snaps to. Bernard, tell me from your lips that this is true.
Speak up, Bernard. All of a sudden, you cannot find the words.
He, Bernard Grimbiter, with the silver tongue and the gift for gab, has no words.
Look, Bernard was child. I came up same way as all of you.
No! Bernard, you didn't. You didn't get stuck in isolation. Did you? You know I had a room there with no windows and no light. You know that. I trusted you. And you've let me believe all these years that you were at least cordial with me.
Azjah, come on.
No. And Trix stands up from their kneeling position. There's no explaining yourself, Bernard. You are the reason I left anything that I've loved. You are the reason I have never found anybody like Azjah. You are the reason my life is tied to God knows what for the hope. And you see Trix takes a step back.
And as Trix takes a step back, almost in beat, Azjah takes a step forward and stands next to Trix. Now, Bernard, you've come to fear me. Has your crew? Because if not, they should. Consider that little deal we had off the table. Your debt will be paid to me with your life. Maybe not today. Maybe not tomorrow. But trust that I will revel in the sounds of your squealing and suffering at my hand. It's
We
been
were
nice.
Children. We were children.
It's funny how things that happen when you are a child shape who you are today. No?
You're telling me you didn't make mistake as child?
My only mistake was having a gift that was deemed unholy. I didn't have a chance to make mistakes, Bernard. I barely saw the light of day.
Could have just fallen in line like everyone else.
I think at that point, without even a breath, she takes out her sickle and she's going to try to cut this dude's hand off.
Is the spell still up, like Cloud of Daggers? I know we flavored it slightly differently to how it's...
No.
You dropped it?
Yeah, I dropped it.
So you're stepping forward to him to... Okay. Make an attack roll.
Can I help with this action?
Can I help too? Are we allowed to do that?
You can.
Okay.
I need both of you to give me athletics checks. He's going to attempt to move away.
Oh, I was gonna draw my pistol towards the crew to try to get to persuade them not to interfere.
Yeah,
So I'd probably have to do like a persuasion or
Intimidation, that would be.
I was gonna misty step behind him and try to grapple or something.
Okay. Chezz, roll an intimidation check. There are like as you go to take your gun out, there are around 15 like ship hands.
Yeah,
He got a nat 1.
we got our first nat 1 of the game.
I'm just going
I
to
should have just stayed in my lane. I should have stayed in my lane.
So here's what happens
Oh, God.
before the next thing. Chezz reaches in and grabs out his pistol and draws it on one of the crew and goes to move it across everyone to kind of show that like they're all targets. As he moves, one of them wraps a chain around across his like arm and across his neck and pulls back and falls back on his own back, holding you down as the others like rush and like pin you down, like punching you in the forearm until your hand finally kind of lets go of the gun and they kick it over to the side. It hasn't gone off the pier, but it's kind of kicked away, maybe 10 feet away from you as they hold him down. Hey, your friend seems to be in little trouble, no?
There's nothing except hate spewing from her eyes as she says nothing.
Yeah,
And,
Trix wouldn't even
Ship
look at
captain in front of full dock.
They may not respect me, Bernard, but they fear me, and that is power.
Power seems to be in numbers this time, good doctor.
We'll see. Trix, did you already Misty step behind?
Yeah, so while Bernard's hands are up, can I misty step and try to grab their wrists? Or just like by the forearms?
Yeah, I mean, he was just showing that he's not like being aggressive himself.
Yeah. Something innately when Azjah drew her sickle, they just want to help Azjah get a clear shot on something.
Okay, so if you're gonna misty step around to the back of him. I will give you advantage on this contested athletics because he doesn't know that it's coming from behind, so he's at a point of disadvantage on this.
So you see a pool of blood where Trix was standing, and within a blink of an eye, you hear a droplet, and within that second, Trix, not even looking at Bernard anymore, making eye contact with Azjah, and it's the same eye contact that they had when they were scared, when they were children. But they knew that if they made eye contact with Azjah and kept it there, that whatever happened next, at least that was the last thing that they saw. Whether if they were torn away from the sisters or if they had a bad nightmare, this type of eye contact is something that Trix has not felt since they were children. And it's a mix of fear and anxiety and desperation. This time, though, it's filled with strength and retribution and vengeance. And you just see, within a split second, both hands clasp around Bernard's forearms.
What is your athletics modifier?
Athletics is +1.
+1. So with advantage, you need to roll a 9 or more.
Me or Azjah?
No, you're
Me.
doing the grapple on this one.
Jesus fuck. Oh, are you fucking me right now? Sorry. Jesus. A 3.
A 3.
That's with advantage.
Yep. What? What was the other one?
A 4.
So much for those high rolls at the beginning of the game, besties.
I told you get him out early. Yeah.
Wasted them on looking at stuff. That's it.
Classic.
So, okay. Here's what happens. So that splash of blood as you reappear behind him, you go to grab onto his forearms, but this. Like Bernard, he's a ship's captain. He works these horrible docks. He has to deal with just pieces of shit day in and day out. He senses the attack coming, and so like just allows his body to slide off of this little post that he sat on. But he misses his step and kind of stumbles forward as you reappear and go to grab him. He just kind of slips out. Small folk, easy to kind of dodge around like your larger frame. He stumbles onto the ground, and Azjah, right in front of you, you see as from beneath his shirt, a necklace falls out. This long beaded necklace with a pattern of AAB and small, large beads, like wooden beads that run down to this large medallion, like wooden medallion with the insignia of a sun. This is the Dawnfather Palor's symbol.
That makes her even angrier. So instead, like, she brandishes the sickle and like brings it up to bring it down onto his hand. But instead, she just kind of stands there, holding it up, smiling, eerily, widely. And she is going to cast Toll the Dead on him.
All right, that's a wisdom save for me, right?
Yep, 14 or more.
He has a So a +3 to his wisdom save. So I need to roll. What was your DC?
14.
14.
It needs
So I
an
need to roll
11.
11 or more.
Mhm.
That's a 5.
Perfect. And that's 7 damage, 7 necrotic damage. So what this looks like is there's a moment where it seems like time stands still. And Azjah's jaw opens wide and almost elongates as this bellow of a howl, unholy, unearthly, pours from this place that is so deep within, and it just spews shadows that roll like clouds off of her tongue and over her lips and pools around Bernard. And the bell tolls as this ghostly visage, this wraith in all black, cackles and burrows underneath his skin, only to pour out of his mouth and back into Azjah's.
The only ones hearing the bell toll are Azjah and Bernard, but is the Wraith also part of that, or does everyone see that?
I think that would need a religion check to see if somebody notices or picks up on it.
Can I roll for that?
Sure.
What's
That's-
the DC
You know what? Let's say DC 14.
as your spell save? I think that's fair.
Oh, no, it's a 13.
The crew do not make it. So as that happens, you guys basically like looking on, watch as he seems racked with pain, almost like he's like, almost like in that cat vomit kind of like arching his back and like stretching out. But Azjah, you watch as that wraith just pours out of his mouth and his eyes, ears, and nose as it comes out and reforms itself, like apparating up in front between you before disappearing as everyone else just hears him. The rest of the crew pick up Chezz. Chezz, you can make another athletics check because they're moving you.
Okay.
That is a 12 that you have to beat.
8.
So they've got him there. The one with the chain unwraps it from his arm and puts it around his neck, twists it over, turns around, and starts hoisting him up on his back as Chezz is like pulled up by the throat.
Before Bernard gets that, almost gets that out, I would love to cast Mind Spike. I don't want to kill this guy. I just want him to feel pain.
So, as the both of your magics are kind of out and around Bernard in this fit of rage and vengeance and just emotion bubbling up that has been buried for so long, the blood that formed the daggers now forms this long, almost like a rail spike. Just over his head as he's looking down, just turning up towards Azjah to ask if that's enough. The wraith still there, skull face with this long black robe around him, grabs the spike and drives it into his skull.
I think the moment that it makes contact with his skull, Trix's voice echoes loudly in his head, and you hear Trix's voice saying, "Don't worry, you're not going to die just yet. I'll leave that to Azjah. I just want you to feel what it feels like to think you'd never feel love again." And it turns into like this blink of a nightmarish scene of all the tribulations that Trix went through when they ran away, all the trauma that they went through as a kid on the streets, just trying to make it day to day, but interspliced with the scenes of Azjah's being tormented by the sisters and almost like warping this reality of like both realities just kind of twisting into this hellish nightmare, the worst thing you could ever feel. And within that split second, it just kind of vanishes.
With that, the two magics combining, almost like you are driving your own memories, Trix, into this blood spike, along with the wraith represented by Azjah's magic, pouring those memories, intertwining them so we can see everyone's perspective of this whole sort of web of lies and deceit that he laid out, is driven into him as he reels back in pain and just starts to weep uncontrollably and just says, "Let him go, let him go," over to the crew, who like look super confused, but slowly start to, like, the chain is dropped and immediately Chezz, yep, it pulls away
That's what I
from
thought. Yeah.
as the other ones that are kind of holding onto your arms and things kind of let go and stand back with their hands up.
There's a pause as Azjah slowly, intentionally, every click of her heel against the stone reverberating, and she gets to Bernard. There's a very sick, sadistic smirk on her face as she meets him where he's at. Not kneeling, but bending enough so she is in his face, taunting him. The wraith still present, but he would likely see the wraith over her face like a mask. Now I've tasted your pain, Bernard. And it's delicious. I will kill you. Consider this the appetizer. Poor, pathetic Bernard. So threatened by little old me that he had to run and tattle. I'll be seeing you. And she just walks away and looks at Trix and reaches for their hand.
in this rage, Trix's misty eyes still trying to come to grips of what it feels like to lose control like that. And they feel Vlad just kind of push their hand up, and Vlad is kind of guiding Trix's hand to Azjah's, and they grab Azjah's hand.
I'll be seeing you, Bernard. Sleep tight. Don't let Azjah bite. And she looks over to Chezz. No marks this time. You're doing better.
Cool catchphrase.
Oh, thank you. Come now. We have a morgue to visit.
I grab my pistol and I do one of these at the crew.
Doubled over on the ground along the sort of the wooden dockside, clutching around his ribs, still on all fours, on his knees and elbows, is where you leave Bernard as you walk away from him, sweating and weeping uncontrollably in this sort of vibrating emotional mess as he starts but fails to comprehend the amount of pain that his actions caused in both of your lives. You walk away from the crew and the dock, and as you walk away, Azjah, you hear in your head, Azjah, we don't hunt rabbits with a trebuchet.
In her head, there's still this very sick smirk on her face. Of course not. But it was fun. I can't hear you.
Be careful to whom you reveal yourself.
Yes, that's true. I suppose I let my hatred get the best of me there.
Secrets are very becoming. As that sound echoes into your mind, as you feel the presence relieve itself, that is where we're going to end tonight's show.
Dag, yo.
Damn.
Woo!
Woo! Woo!
Hot in here.
That was intense. Wow. Okay. Well, secrets are becoming. Thank you all so much for hanging out with us tonight. This was wild. Not where I expected it to go, but I'm not upset about it. Like, not upset about it. Wow. I can't. Is it Tuesday yet?
I
just
know.
need to know.
Can we fast forward to next week?
Tuesday. Is it Tuesday yet? Thank you
Guys,
again.
you should know this by now. I'm going to cliffhanger you every single damn time.
And I'm always going to say, is it Tuesday? Yeah. Thank you all so much for joining us. We are going to pop out. We love you. Thank you all so much. Oh, just very quickly before we do our outros, make sure you pay attention to, I don't want to say Twitter. I hate Twitter, but Twitter, Threads, Blue Sky, wherever you follow, because we are going to be doing some really cool stuff very, very, very soon. And it's going to be great, and you're not going to want to miss it. Thank you all so much for supporting us, supporting our lovely Wretched Harvest campaign. And yeah, all that. That being said, hi, I'm Raven. Goodbye. I love you. Thanks for being here. I played Azjah, who is edgy, and now y'all know some shit. Okay, now y'all know some shit. Yeah. Who's next?
Hello, I am and have been and will continue to be for some time Jay Foster, aka Swole Initiative on the internets. I have been your invading dungeon master on Ravenous Tales. You can find me at Swole Initiative on the internets, as I said, but also streaming on the Swole Initiative Network on Twitch and YouTube. We run a fun campaign on Fridays, some fun community stuff on Mondays, and now we're going to be doing some other tabletop games on Wednesdays. So come and check us out when you're not here on Tuesdays. Funny how that worked out, right? But yes, thank you so much. Being here has been super fun. That's me. I'm out.
Hell yeah. My turn. Hey y'all, it's Danny. You can find me all over the internet, Brutal Dan, that's BR00TALDAN. I will encourage you to check out my Substack called Digital Thickness, where you can bulk up your social strategies and flex your online presence with your favorite emotional support himbo. Tonight I have played Bellatrix Bloodlust, and y'all also learned some shit about Trix, your favorite non-binary drow warlock with the Vladipus Platypus.
Oh, me. Hi, I'm Diction. You can find me at twitch.tv/Diction, where I play a lot of games, or we browse Reddit and look at stupid food gifs and stuff like that. And I've been Chezz, who you probably didn't learn a whole lot more about, except that people like me at the docks. That's about it.
That's important though. You
Yeah.
get information because people like you. People don't like me. Anyway, make sure that y'all follow the YouTube channel as well. That is where all of this will be uploaded. We are going to remove, I'm thinking we're going to remove VODs from here after next month, so that way you guys can check it out on YouTube. I love y'all. I'll see ya. Okay, bye. See you Tuesday. Bye.